What is going on, everybody? I'm Novo coming at you with another one. I've been away. I stopped trading. I did a fair bit of studying. I've been trying to decode Tunnel Through the Air, which is the book written by W.D. Gann, where he supposedly hid all of his cycles. He did numerous training seminars, as I'm sure you all know, charged ridiculous amounts of money, but he never told you the cycles. He showed you what to do with price, but he never told you when to do it. And his cycles were basically encoded in a fictional love story called Tunnel Through the Air, or Looking Back from 1940. Gann used different ways to encode the book. We'll go through a few, but I'm not just going to give everything away. It's best that you do the work. And even if I did give everything away, you wouldn't be able to do it. You still need to do the work. So you've heard the phrase, doing X is much like riding a bike, right? Basically meaning that it's simple, you would never forget. In this aspect, W.D. Gann is a lot like riding a bike. I could give you a book on how to ride a bike. Boom, you've got the answers. Do you know how to ride a bike now? No. You have to apply and practice in order to develop the way this strategy works. It's multi-layered, multifaceted. I've gotten numerous migraines trying to decode this, and I just want to shorten the curve, but you still have to do the work yourself. So case in point, here's an example. So over here, we've got Astrolog 7.40, and we are set up for September 30th, 1909 at 12 p.m. It could be 4 p.m., but let's just say it's 12 p.m. And are we set up the same here? Yeah, we are. So this date was the date when the option for wheat was going to expire. W.D. Gann was calling for 120. And it looked like his prediction was not going to make it. And he was quoted as saying, "I do not care what the price is right now. I only know that it must get there." I paraphrase. If we look at the moon is in Aries in this wheel of 12, dropping hints here. And on the square of 9, 120 is right here. And if I just change this to 120, oops, 120. Where are you? Here you are. I'm just going to slide this over to here. Actually, it's supposed to be here, but I'm just going to split difference. I'll get to that in a second. So we've got an angle aspect going to 120 from a planetary aspect or an airship aspect, and that is the circle of 8, COE. And within orb, we also have the sun, and we know that Gann used the sun for trading. So this is starting to sound like a lot of hoopla to those that don't follow Gann. Our solar system and the universe is all one big clock. And what Gann did was not use astrology as we know it for predicting price and time, more so using timing solutions within the solar system in order to line them up with price. Okay. Traditional astrology kind of tells you whether you're going to have a bad day, meet somebody, all that other stuff. That's not what Gann was doing. And Gann kept his mouth shut with regards to his timing solutions because he would have looked like a quack back in the day. Anyway, I digress. So we've got the moon in Aries here, and if I zoom in, we can see we have the moon in Aries here. Now, pay close attention. When you get these two programs, you want to make sure that they are set up the same way. This we don't have to worry about. It's Ganzilla that I worried about. This was flipped over like so. Once I moved it over 180 degrees, you'll know what I mean when you fire it up. And in order to change it, you have to change the cosmogram, right? So instead of clockwise, you want to uncheck clockwise, and you want this at 180 degrees, like so, so that it matches over here. And we are showing that, yes, indeed, the moon is in Aries. And if we have this set up, then we'll match over here. Okay. Let's look at the wheel of 12 here. If we were to slice the donut and roll out the wheel of 12 like a carpet, we would have this set up this way, right? So we have our 12 houses beginning with 0 in Aries, and 12 houses later, we've got 11, and then 12 starts off again in Aries. So, 0 to 11, and then starts off at 12. So the way Gann stated it, price would act within a tunnel or within a wheel. And when it left the wheel, you had to forecast price within the new wheel. What is a wheel? A wheel is 360 degrees of something. And within the zodiac here, if point of origin was Aries, and we went all the way around, that would be 360 degrees. But if we went all the way around again, that's not 360 degrees anymore. It's 720, etc. Okay. And I just want to clear that. So by rolling out the wheel so that we can see a linear representation of the zodiac is how we get this. So this becomes the wheel of 12, and it becomes a calculator with numbers that are assigned to each house. All right. So Gann said that numerous wheels and calculators would harmonize and strengthen his projection towards a price. And on September 30th, 1909, the moon was in Aries. And over here on Ganzilla, the moon is in Aries. And we have an angular aspect. I'm assuming that you're all caught up. We've got an angular aspect to 120 here with regards to sun. And the moon is in Aries. And the price 120 is also within Aries. So we have two projections that are harmonious with regards to the price. Now, Gann would project forward and say, okay, on this date, it must be 120 and no higher. Well, how would he know that? That would be based on the cycles. He knew that the turn or the end of the cycle would be on September 30th, 1909. And that's why I say you need to have the cycles in order to do that. You can still do levels of Gann without any of this price projection. You could just hunt for cycles. So what does a cycle look like? There we go. Let's turn off log for a second. So these yellow pivots are a cycle. You can see bottom to top. So high, low, high, low, high, low. And that's how Gann would forecast his forecasts. And it never changed. It was always high, low, high, low, high, low. And there were different sizes of cycles depending on frequency of trading that you were looking for, right? So this was a cycle, and this blue line was a much larger cycle. And a wheel within another wheel would be the white line, which is yet another cycle. So depending on what you want to trade frequency-wise, you would look for a cycle that was harmonious with aspect to the timing solutions and the instrument that you are trading. There's layers of onions, but I'm going to try and stay on topic here. Okay, so this was a forecasting method. This is the time cycle research that you have to do. And soon you'll be able to calculate on this date, price must go there. It sounds impossible. And I didn't believe it at first, but it just keeps coming true. And now I'm starting to wonder what reality really is. Anyways, here's a shortcut on decoding. One method of decoding was using Ezekiel. He chose Ezekiel to describe the airships within the novel. For example, we're looking at Ezekiel 7 to 12. So if we take all those numbers and put them together, not add them together, if we put them together, we end up with the number 7,212. 7,212 just happens to be the number of days it takes for the synodic cycle of Saturn and Jupiter to complete. Okay, start Googling, pause the video, look up the synodic cycle of Saturn and Jupiter. This is one way that he coded. Now you got to go and decode the rest. And this book is available online. Just Google it. All right, let's go to Ezekiel 8114. If we put those numbers together, Ezekiel 8114, we end up with 8,114. And that is the synodic cycle of Mars and Jupiter. So page 52 is introducing Jupiter, because that is the common planet that we're starting to see. How do we know that this is Jupiter? Well, let's go back to 8114, which is the number of days it takes for Mars to complete its synodic cycle with Jupiter. What is the ratio of the two planets? The ratio of the two planets in order to complete the cycle is 5 to 2. This is on page 52. This is sort of like a confirmation. Okay, you're on the right track. You're starting to see how this onion, it's got layers upon layers upon layers. These are only the two cycles that I'm going to show. You can go back and study it on your own. What you need to do is to take a notebook or an Excel spreadsheet and start noting everything that relates, because this is all about connections. A page connects with another page. It could be the number of days in between. It could be the pages the number of pages in between. There's always a sequence or a cycle or a reference or an angle in order to get you to where you're going. And W.D. Gann must have been like Mozart savant of trading and cycles, because I don't know how anyone could have written this book the way it is. It's like he's the Satoshi Nakamoto of Tunnel Through the Air. So, yeah, you're going to have to start decoding on your own to show you. So I've given you a tidbit. There's there's a lot of other decoding, like decoding the actual title through Pythagorean numerology, and even the word through. If you run that through, you come out with 22, which Gann considers a master number. 11, 22, 33, 66, those are all master numbers. Everything else is a single digit. Okay, so we've had an example of the weak call. We've decoded 2 cycles within Tunnel Through the Air, and we've made representation of the zodiac with regards to price and time as time progresses. And we demonstrated the $1.20 weak call within that time. So that's price time, and showing that that is a pivotal point in a time cycle that we will not discuss in this video. I think I'll leave it there, and the next video we'll start choosing certain areas and dive in a little deeper, and hopefully I haven't scared everybody off. So on that note, I think I will wish you all a good day, and you may want to play this video several times so that this is absorbed, and I'm going to leave a little bit of time so that you've had enough time to digest, and we'll leave it at that. So under 20 minutes. It always takes 20 minutes or so. Trade safe.